And here we are on Faymonville approach. We have none other than Caffeinated Cows playing as the Austere faction. Already grabbing his fuel here, using his Pioneer together with the MG42. Which I do like a lot. The Pioneer has a very large vision radius, which coupled with the MG42 lets you get the drop on your opponent. And if you get flanked with the MG42 Pioneer combo, you always have the Pioneer close by to help out in the short range engagement that happens. Facing off versus the coffee loving cow, we have Turn to Jesus, already locking in his commander here, going for the Soviet Reserve Army, which of course comes with the Commissar. And we see in ordinary here 4 conscript build here from Turn to Jesus, which is a bit strange. Most people would go triple combat or conscript with the double combat engineer for this, simply because you do get your Commissar, so you're going to have 4 infantry squads anyway with that. So that is an interesting choice. But we see here Caffeinated Cows taking control of the center with the MG42 in the garrison, which is just a feature essentially of this map. What's going on in the north here? We have some resource harassment from Turn to Jesus. He's doubling up his conscripts, which is generally recommended, but he's grabbing a weird point here because this isn't connected before you get the cutoff, right? So it's actually not going to give him any resource, only deny them. Could see a cutoff here from Caffeinated Cow. The cutoff does lie open here, and that way you would force those conscripts to keep following you instead of grabbing the map. So that could have been an option here. In the meantime, no Molotovs yet from Turn to Jesus, so he can't smoke the MG42 out.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
But he has the Grenadier here supporting. And interestingly, he has also wired this doorway here, so that will deny his opponent from using that. Very nice. Small little things. See here, is he going for Molotovs? He's not going for Molotovs, which is kind of what I expected, to be honest, since he's doing this, but he's getting some damage in.
Has been cut off.
Healing up for Caffeinated Cows. Well, we have some minor skirmishes here. Still no show of teching here. We have Battle Phase 1 coming up right now though. Meanwhile, his opponent does have Tier 2. But yeah, stronghold here on the center from Cows. We see Turn to Jesus, trying to utilize this. He's maneuvering around the outskirts of the map, avoiding the MG42, which is exactly what you want to be doing. And I think Caffeinated Cows here finally starts to make the MG42 a bit more active instead of just rolling his thumbs in the garrison, actually bringing it into the fighting here, helping out in the engagements. I wonder why he's so obsessed with the northern point here. Can't really see any reason to. It is strange though, because certain lower level games, you usually never see these points even being captured sometimes. But in this game, it's been straight up the opposite. And Jesus seemed to really like the side skirts here. He does go for a mortar. Probably to help him counter the garrison here in the center. I think that's a wise decision. Meanwhile, cow lover here, or coffee lover, I don't know, maybe he loves cows too, but he's going for the north. Going for that resource harassment. He feels like he has the rest of the map under control. We see a rifleade here on the mortar. Only gets 2 models with that, so a bit unfortunate. Meanwhile, we have a conscript on the far left side here, grabbing the map, completely uncontested. He's about to grab a cutoff here, but I think this point is, yes, it's still connected via the VP, so that does actually not cut off the fuel. And we have PPSHs coming out for Jesus on his conscripts. Very nice. He now has almost four PPSH conscripts. He also has Molotovs and a snare, and he got the commissar out. Which means probably no light vehicles in quite some time from Jesus. Meanwhile, Cow went for a second MG42. He also teched up for the 2-2. Very nice. I think it's, you know, it could have been way faster if he didn't grab the second MG42. He's literally floating 50 fuel here. So could have definitely had a faster time. We also see a demo here on the garrison. Do like that choice.
Supply sector under attack.
We see an attempt at a flank here, but it is covered by the overlapping machine guns. Might still get the... Oh, he's not even gonna throw the Molotov. Saves it. Sees it's retreated anyway. But yeah, I do like this demo here. I think it's a wise decision, for sure. 2-2 might spot it here though, if they go for the chase on the combat engineer. I wouldn't say second MG42 is like a super bad thing, but it does delay your 2-2, and there is really nothing stopping you from building the second MG42 after getting the 2-2. That's usually what I say, you know, you want to keep your light vehicle and medium vehicle timings prioritized, and then you can get your follow-up squads after. So, ooh! Seems Caffeinated Cow did not realize there was a demo there, and Jesus used this opportunity to blow up that Grenadier. We do see a rebuild here though, but he's opting for the Panzer Grenadier. Yeah, 2-2 was almost in trouble here. He did get snared and the mortar got a hit in, but he just simply reverses to the safety of his machine guns, and he's fine. We also have a sys gun coming out for Jesus. Very nice. I think this is something he probably could have gone for earlier. I wouldn't mind seeing a sys gun instead of the mortar, because you do get the artillery shells on it. But, you know, that costs munitions, and this probably want to prioritize the PPSHs. 2-2 about to get some repairs up. I am intrigued here. What's Caffeinated Cow's next unit going to be? Seems he's going for an early tech up to battle phase 2. Not something too common. He could definitely squeeze in 2 more units here, I think, before doing this, but I don't necessarily hate it. It's just you could be a bit more efficient with your resources. Meanwhile, Jesus is going for the stall, it seems, for the medium. So he's probably going to start teching up next to get a fast T-34 around the 13-minute mark, I would guess. At least with the current income, he should have a T-34 in 3 minutes, but we'll see. Could be facing some manpower problems if he's taking bad engagements. Ooh, that rifle nade though! Jesus did not see it! But you know, good thing about being Jesus is that you get resurrected if you die, right? So... And this 2-2 is now in trouble, about to get ham-fisted from all directions. Oh no! It's like, you know, that meme with the girl in the middle, and then there is like 4 large men surrounding. That was the 2-2 and the conscripts, right? Another grenade going off here. Grenadier's almost going down. Has the strong retreat path though, saving the squad most likely. Oh, bundle nade here, but One thing that's important to take notice of when you're throwing grenades like this is you want it to be where most of his men were, right? He did still take a lot of damage here, but most of the models were up here. Of course, the advantage of throwing it at the gun means that they also have to pick it up again, so it actually stuns the vehicle or the support weapon for some time. But yeah, that's up for grabs. Cows does not have a 80 gun currently, so it's probably quite happy about that. Yeah, the support weapon fight, you know what I mean. We see the team weapon airdrop. Very nice, I do like that. It's gonna give him a Maxim and a Sys gun. But you know, honestly, why wouldn't you be taking at this point? I think might be a bit of a misjudge here from Jesus, but you know, not too bad. He's going to have a very large infantry force. And nice usage of Ura here. He's using the propaganda artillery as well. I think that was a bit of a waste here. Probably thought the machine gun was aiming at the road, but it wasn't, so... You know, it's not the largest waste though. It's only, I think, 45, yeah, 45 minutes for that, so... He'll have it in less than a minute's time back. And another MG here flanked. We see a third machine gun actually coming out for cows.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
I don't actually hate that at this point. You know, could be going for some infantry. You could also be considering some commander choices here. Not sure exactly what you would want at this stage though. Another grenade. Dodged, however, from cows. Should you blob with the commissar? The commissar does not have a what's it called? It does not have a supporting aura, but you know, blobbing with it is quite nice because it has the what's it called, like I don't remember the names, but it's like, you know, it enhances the squads, and you also have the force retreat propaganda artillery. So it isn't bad to blob with it, because that way you can use the propaganda artillery to the most effect, right? Sysgun is in trouble here. He is trying to pull away. Should be fine. And we see hit the dirt here. Very nice actually from Jesus. We see a rifle nade though. Oh. Could go down here. Most likely will. That's a quite major loss, I must say. Jesus here having some manpower issues for sure. He is finally taking up though. So T-34 incoming as soon as we can afford it. We have an Ostwind here though from cows out right now, and there's no AT. He's still not picked up the Sysgun in his base, but he will do that once he realizes the Ostwind is out. Imagine if he didn't go for the drop though. He would have a T-34 by now, and the T-34 does quite well versus the Ostwind, so you know, it's about those medium timings, right? Caffeinated time cows was actually on top of the timing this time around. It's not like the 2-2. Meanwhile, Jesus here kind of misjudged his economy, I think. As the silence settles on the battlefield. Conscript getting very low there. Ostwind almost instantly sees his first kill. As we have the Soviets charging throughout the battlefield. Is he going for a snare here? That would be strange, but he's going for the D-crew on the MG42. Needs to be running now, yes indeed. Sysgun is crewed, opening fire on the Ostwind. See a grenade there, yes, but dodged by cows. This Ostwind is going all in here, it seems. He's about to get snared. Could be an immediate throw here from Cows, throwing away the advantage he has. Probably trying to buy some time to get that machine gun back. That's the only thing I can see why he would do this. Seems he will be able to get away with this Ostwind though. He's going to get hit one more time. That does get the main gun, but there's no follow-up from Jesus. Oh, is he going to try it? No, he can't. And he can't get this too either. There's no way, yeah. Unfortunate for Jesus. I think he could have been better off if it was quicker to regroup some of his units here. He is about to get flanked though. He is paying attention. Maxim moving about. Sysgun about to get decrewed. Yes, indeed. Pigran's doing very well so far this game.
Ready! They shot my canteen! I'm hit! Help me! Comrades!
Does pick it up with the combat engineer here. I do like that. Personally I do prefer to pick up support weapons with combat engineer. They have a smaller received accuracy stat than the conscript does, while the conscript is slightly cheaper. I would in most situations favor the smaller target size on the support weapons, because that makes them just way harder to decrew, which is exactly what you want on your support weapons. You know, they're already 6-man, but once they're 6-man combat engineers, you know, it makes them very tough to kill. Similarly, you do want to pick up the support weapons for Ost here with the Pioneer. The Pioneer is cheaper than Grenadiers per model, and they also have a way larger vision radius, meaning the support weapons will self-spot. We see a Grenadier from the Commissar. Could potentially be picked up here. He could just Urra and beeline for it. And a Grenadier goes down as well. What was Cows doing at this point? He must have looked elsewhere, but there wasn't really much else going on, so I'm not quite sure what he was looking at. But yeah, an MG42 gets steal, and we see a second Ostwind for Cows. Okay. Molotov instantly on the garrison, very nice. Jesus is paying attention, but so is Cows, gets out of there. Without, oh, still standing in the fire. Taking a lot of damage for no reason there. That's gonna have to be retreated once he realizes. And Commissar here could go down. Potentially. If the Grenadiers close in, needs to be chasing here. I think that's a missed opportunity. Of course there's no guarantee it would have died if he stayed there, but he is going for the MG. This is something I don't recommend doing, at least not if you have a very strong shielding this, but this is just super risky because, you know, losing a machine gun is essentially -2. It's -1 for you and +1 for your opponent, right? So very risky. But we see our Maxim eating a bundle nade to the face. Mortar now unsupported. And we have the flanking Ostwind coming in from the side. Tier 4 is up, but no manpower for vehicles here for Jesus. Just completely misprioritized economy, I think. And this Ostwind... No, the Sysgun is turning around. Meaning no kill. I will say... Note here, I'm gonna pause for a second. I think this flank was a good. But this flank could have also been game losing. Because, you know, we're at minute 21. And there's been no vehicles from your opponent. You know, this means that there could be a vehicle showing up at literally any second after 14 minutes. If there's been any light vehicle, you should be expecting a vehicle, right? So doing this flank, I mean, what if you faced a T-34 in your opponent's base here? You would literally lose both your Ostwinds, right? So you always gotta think about that, like how much resources should my opponent approximately have? And can I go in for a flank you know, you can probably go in for a flank if you know he hasn't teched, if you scouted his base, for instance. Or if you just killed a vehicle, so you know you're up a vehicle on your opponent if you're playing an even game. But in a scenario like this, he is literally risking to lose the game for, I mean, what does he win here? He's gonna bleed some more. But, you know, it's just the fact that Jesus misprioritized his economy here means this is a very strong flank, right? So, yeah, it was risky, but it did pay off in this situation. But it's also, you know, you should be aware that this could have been the complete opposite, I think. Yeah, I think this is the game-ending push here if Cows just continues all in. I mean, this is a juicy target right here, right?
An elephant tank destroyer is ready to be deployed. An elephant tank destroyer is ready to be deployed.
Squad, form up.
I don't know what Jesus can do. I think reinforcing here is a bad call, because you need to get that vehicle out. But at the same time, you know, what's one vehicle going to do at this point?
Awaiting command.
It's just a very bad situation.
Okay, that's the last one.
But he still he has the fighting spirit, you know. He has the Soviet fighting spirit. He don't think it's over. He's going back out there the way he just came from. We have the player here saying he didn't know yet what his opponent had in his base, but I mean, the thing is, right, he already went for this maneuver, and this loses to the same things that this maneuver does, so why not continue at that point? You know, continuing is gonna end the game, but pulling back here is just, it's gonna minimize your losses, so this is one of those moments, if you did do the first maneuver, you should go all the way, right? But it's a small thing, you still came out ahead, and playing cautiously isn't bad. I mean, look at some of the best players like Isildur, he does play very cautiously. He still does maneuvers like this, but they are usually a bit more calculated. Where, you know, you don't do it at 20 minutes when there's been no vehicles from your opponent. That's just a small thing. And it's also the game sense thing, right? It's always hard to tell. Once you're in the pilot seat. But yeah, we finally have a T-34-76 in the queue. I mean, he has fuel for 3 more, so almost. So, you know, I guess we can already tell what his next couple of units is going to be. As Jesus here, I would probably just prioritize one side together with the vehicle support, and then just wait till you get the other vehicles. You know, you have the fuel banked up, all you need is the manpower, so avoid all the unnecessary engagements and just fight together with your vehicle.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
And we do have an Ura coming in here. Ostwind having some poor pathfinding, had to reverse around there. Does get in snare range. I don't think this T-34 can capitalize on this. But we'll see what it tries. It seems he's going to. He thinks it's like, you know, it's so bad already, I might as well go for this. Might be able to make me come back, I don't mind it. Still no reaction from the pack guns though. Follow this up. There we go. He's going to lose his Ostwind here, but, you know, he's still quite far ahead. And I don't think this loss could have been avoided, since Jesus went in. One thing you could have done in Ostyr's position here is try to trade, right? Force the trade. So focus fire the Ostwind on the T-34, try to get a snaring range from somewhere. Actually, he only has one snaring unit, that would have been hard. Yeah, maybe it wasn't possible to trade there. That's one thing with a build like this, you know, you don't have any snares. If you had like 4 mainline of Grens instead, you could have just gone up and snared, and then your 80 guns could follow up and chew the vehicle down, you know? But yeah, Panzer IV for cows. I like it. I think that's a smart choice. Most likely going to be another T-34 here for Jesus. Jesus now focusing south. Don't mind that either, you know. But he should be using his T-34 with this, I think. Ooh. Not dodged there. You know, one thing when you're blobbing like this is, you know, what else are you looking at? How do you eat a grenade with a blob like this? Because you should be looking at this. That's literally all your entire army. You know? Or it's not literally, but it's figuratively your entire army. So you should, that's what you should be looking at. Interesting here as well, right? This single mortar is occupying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, forcing them to stay in the middle. T-34 is in trouble here, but, or yeah, there is a second one coming out, so if he puts the marker here and reverses, he could make it spawn behind the Panzer IV. Oh, and some bad path finding there. Oh. Is going in. Needs one more connection. Needs to get out of range. Connection goes in. Here comes the snare. Follow up T-34 is out. We also have a recon plane. Should really be closing in here. Missing. You could say this is unlucky. I don't think it's unlucky. The way you play this is you close in, because closing in means the armor of the Panzer IV means less, and it also means he can't escape, right? But now the pack gun is in position. If the T-34 goes in here, it could backfire. And yes, it does.
We are suffering vehicle losses.
Do have propaganda artillery coming in. Cows' entire infantry army is on retreat. We have an Su-85 that could mock up these vehicles if they're not pulling back. Only one pioneer for cows, you know. Could have been a second one out as well. He has the manpower for it, so. And the Othwin goes down to the 18-aids. It's definitely far from over here. I can see Jesus winning this. You know, the Soviet late game is just going to be pumping out vehicles here every minute, essentially, as soon as he gets manpower, so. Next one needs one more connection. Could use the focus sight here to get the vision. See what he sees. He doesn't see it, but you know, we could use the focus sight. He's just charging in instead. Blindly. Might lose him the vehicle. And he's... No! What is going through his mind right now? He goes for an attacker on the attempt. Did Cows see that? Could go for a return attempt. Oh, there we go. Misses. He's gonna try again. It does. The Su-5 goes down.
Another vehicle has been lost in the defense of the Rodina.
But I mean, look at the army composition here. Honestly, I would still favor Jesus here. He's getting another vehicle. They're equal on resources, essentially. I guess Cows could get some more infantry here. Pigrans, I think this is a poor choice. At this rate, you want to be looking for pioneers, for sure. You know, just to recrew and repair and start planting mines.
Squad at the ready.
And you also want to have some more capturing squads, right? I mean, Pigrans are kind of hard to play versus Soviets because of the mine spam, but Jesus, he doesn't have any combat engineers left. They're all gone. I don't know where. Maybe they went back to Moscow. Maybe they were needed somewhere, you know, like Chernobyl or something. But yeah, another Su-85 is the choice for Jesus.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
And it does have 3 machine guns, 1 Maxim and 2 42s. I guess he managed to snatch the one up north as well. Nice use here, he's using the flare from the mortar. And then start barraging here. Cows hasn't noticed yet. It's always something, you know, if you hear the mortar firing, just take a look at what it's firing at and then move that unit. I think that's some good advice. Yeah, these Pigrans are not having a good time. One goes down, but see, double bundle! Where is Jesus looking?
The enemy has killed another infantry squad.
What is he looking at? He has all his in the mortar. He's taking down another conscript. That's -2. The advantage Jesus had just bloody disappeared in a puff of smoke.
300 points stand.
How do you let this happen? You're looking at this, right? Where else are you looking? It's, you know, if you're charging, attacking, especially versus a unit such as Panzer Grenadiers, which you know has access to a large bomb, right? That's when you want to be paying attention.
A sector has been cut off.
I mean, he did get the Panzer Grenadier, but you know, it's like he could have gotten that without losing his entire army. And honestly, the conscripts at that point is a large loss. Because, you know, the Panzer Grenadiers, they were vet 0, those were 2 vet 3 conscripts, right? Oh, now he's using the focus sight. Maybe he heard me. You know, he's crawling up. He's looking at his own squad instead of, you know, looking at the blind spots. Yes. Now he's turning around. Oh, Panzer IV going in. Jesus hasn't seen it yet. There we go. About to be snared. No. Grenadiers doesn't opt for the snare there. Another vehicle in queue for Jesus. Still nothing from the cow. He went for another Panzer Grenadier instead. Oof. Superior mortar beats the inferior mortar. Rifle nade, is it dodged? Nope. Still using the hit the dirt though with the conscripts. I do like that. It's an ability not a lot of people use. Because it's in very strange doctrines, such as this one. But you know, I think it's really good. I think it's really good.
Machine gun ready.
Yes, comrade. T-34 ready for combat.
Oh. Oh. Lucky that was a smoke nade. Panzer Shreks fires a volley on the Su-85. We have a Maxim covering the retreat of the Su-85, but still no combat engineers to repair. Yeah, no conscript repair in this doctrine, so he just needs that combat engineer, yeah. Which is a shame, you know, because it's gonna delay his next vehicle. He could get another T-34, for instance, but possibly a Katusha would be very good here, I think. Yeah, needs to pull back here. The airplane is in the sky. So the austere player has vision. Manages to get out though, but a bit lucky there for Jesus. The one of the 80 guns did miss, so.
Panzer IV is ready for battle.
Second Panzer IV is out. Soviets holding out in the estate up north. Su-85 crawling its way there. You know, I like his usage here of focus fire. No, not using it when you can get the kill, but he has it on all the other time, making the unit very slow and kind of unresponsive, right? Also makes it really hard to see anything. Must say, those are some brave gunners in that machine gun.
The enemy has 100 points remaining.
Oh, decrease the sys gun and the Panzer IV destroys it. Also gets the second pack gun. That's a lot of veterans gone.
One of our machine guns has been silenced.
But so is it for the MG42 in the north. Oh, now the greedy setup is defended by the Maxim though. Is enough. We see another smoke here. Not opting for the mortar when it's setting up in front of you, or the grenade. Probably thinking he wanted to smoke this machine gun, but
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
didn't quite work out. Huge shot there from the Panzer IV actually, almost deleting the machine gun there from up front.
Supply lines have been cut.
Oh, don't do this, T-34. There we go. Go in with the infantry support. Another thing, you know, before you attack with the Soviets and they have an Su-85, you can just probe a bit with the Su-85 and see where your opponent is. Makes you know how far away he is, and you can get some free shots in. And you can also, you know, avoid charging into a machine gun or similar. Another propaganda artillery on the support weapon blob here, but Commissar almost goes down. T-34 in trouble, Su-85 as well, still not repaired. Double miss. Where is this T-34? It needs to go up here. And what is this? Not reversing. Turns around.
We have lost one of our armored vehicles.
What are you looking at? Are you looking what's behind you? Yeah, this Su-85 could have been crowned the king here of the battlefield, but... Oh, it misses! Su-85 gets away. Gets the kill as well. That's lucky, but, you know... What can you do? Could have, you know, followed up with both Panzer IVs instead of going in one by one. But, you know, that's just nitpicky, right? We have another Grenadier out for... I didn't realize this. I actually rebuilt the Grenadier. That is interesting. Another small thing here about build orders. I know a lot of people ask me, like, why do all the pros go for Grenadiers? Or, like, you know, just a lot of infantry, like 4 Volks Grenadiers. And it's because, you know, infantry... You don't want to build them late game because they are very expensive squads in the late game. They don't really, you know, start to pull their weight before they get the veterancy. And in the late game, they usually have a hard time to get their veterancy. So going a lot of infantry in the early game means you have a lot of vetted infantry hopefully left in the late game. Which, you know, if this second machine gun he built in the early game, if it was a Grenadier instead, he would probably have had another one that's vet free. Instead you have this squad, that, you know, it's not going to do much here. It has basically no fighting capability, and, you know, it's going to lose versus all of the infantry except for the combat engineer. And it's 30 manpower per model. Meanwhile, if you do it in the reverse order, you get all your grenadiers first, then you build a machine gun at this point. The machine gun is going to be amazing even here, right? Because it can deal with all of the infantry as long as it's set up. So just small thing there about build orders. Infantry is something you want to prioritize in the early game, just to get the veterancy up. Meanwhile, support weapons don't really need the veterancy to be useful. So that's just small thing. As both players are kind of healing their wounds. Also, Ostir is slowly here losing on VPs, down to 80. Does get flanked there. Very nice. Using the flare in the center is Jesus. Also something you can look out for if you're the Axis player. You know, if you see the flare, you know he has vision over you, so you can move around your squads. Yeah, Jesus is not... There we go, he finally retreats the mortar. Yeah, very nice push here from Jesus, you know, using the flare, sees there's no machine guns, and then goes in. Very nice, well executed, got the Panzer Grenadier wiped. Might get the mortar as well. Yes, indeed. Could go for the steal. I'm not sure if I would have wanted that, but yeah, very nice push there from Jesus, I think. You know, using minimal resources, you basically only lost 3 models for taking the point and getting 2 wipes there. Very nice, I think. It's just the power of reconning before charging, you know.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory. T-34 ready for combat.
Yeah, another T-34 coming out for Jesus. Facing off versus the 2 Panzer IVs. MG42 this time around is placed in the center. And Pakan is in position. T-34. Ooh, bounces there, saving him. See the propaganda artillery coming in as well. Su-85 here could just keep probing. There's no snares. And you know, you can take a couple hits, right? No, keep probing. Yeah, kill it. There you go. That's how you use focus sight, right there. And now you want to be pulling away. And you probably want to disable this to speed your vehicle up. He doesn't do that, but that's okay. He has a flank on the pack in the north. Could try, I don't know, perhaps ramming here or something. But it seems he's not paying attention. He's microing the other T-34. Another bounce here. T-34 goes down. Shot misses. Pack gun trying to set up. Could use the stun round. No, not vet 1. Oh wait, he's vet 1. No way munitions. T-34 does not follow. He did capture the north though, so the bleed continues. 69 VPs. Nice. For Jesus. And the timer is on. Cows here. Another Panzer IV coming on. Barely any AT for the Jesus here. He's going for another T-34, but really needs a sys gun or something. Oof.
We have taken the enemy down for 50 points.
Nice use of smoke there, blocking the Maxim, but MG42 still has vision here in a small small open area there between. As Cows is just charging through the center with brute force here. He wants that capture. He needs to stop the bleed. 30 VPs. And he still needs another capture.
We have a new T-34 standing by.
No units attacking the sides. Has he noticed his VP count? It's 28 now. He needs to reach those sides.
Encroaching on our territory.
Imagine if they're defended. He can't grab them if they're defended. North is defended by the machine gun. I think Jesus just needs to put all his shit down south to stop this decap. He almost has the W in the bag here. Panzer Force lurking to the base. Imagine if he had one conscript defending the south there. That capture would not be possible. Yeah, Panzer Grenadiers charging into the base, firing a volley. We see a bundle nade, but the Panzer Grenadiers finally goes down. As the T-34 is brawling versus the double Panzer Force. He needs to just leave this. He can't retreat. No, leave. Go south or something. So close yet so far. And he's nowhere near getting another vehicle now. Oh! Yeah, that's the GG shot right there. And this game, you know, could have ended with the double Ostwind push, but, you know, committing but not committing fully. You know, either you go full Von Ivan and you go all the way, or you go Cobol and you stay here, right? That's your options. You can't go middle handing it, but still gets the win. So well played for both players here. I definitely think the stronger player won this game, but I think Soviets were given a bit too many chances to come back here. As these heroic soldiers of the Soviet Union just attacking the steel beast with their rifles.
The enemy is attacking our HQ.
And we have the machine gun from the north
We have made the ultimate
coming in,
sacrifice.
flanking the center, but it's simply too late. I think one squad in the south would have salvaged his game here. Yeah, focusing the tier 4 first. Not much more to say, I think. I'm pretty sure this game is over. We're just waiting for Jesus to get on our level and realize that the chances here are not even slim. But yeah, GG. Let's take a look at the stats real quick before tapping out here. We can see very one-sided. I wonder how many of these kills were happening at the end though. I think it was more like 230 perhaps. Probably more like 230. He lost his entire army in the end and was like 7 units, so probably not 70 models though. Yeah, probably maybe 260, somewhere around these areas, right? Versus 160, so very one-sided kill count, but even then, like, these models here, these models are mostly Panzer Grenadier models. That's mostly what we saw going down for Cows, right? So yeah, I think it's probably more even than it looks, especially if you take into consideration the VP count, right? It's 19 versus 200, so yeah, really good game, I think. And yeah, Jesus is about to go to sleep. So have a good one. And here you can see some RV value graphs. You can see CaffeinatedCows being quite dominant here, but he almost let Jesus take it back here with the vehicle spam that he could do with his fuel bank. I think improvements that could be made for both players is vehicle timings. Cows had a slow light vehicle and Jesus didn't even opt for one. And Jesus, you know, if you skip the light vehicle, you should be aware that you can get very fast mediums, which is not something he took into consideration. I think it's worth learning the cost of all the tier structures. So, you know, if you know you have tier 2, then all you need is tier 3 and tier 4, right? And tier 4 is 120 and tier 3 is 85. So getting a vehicle is approximately 200, or not 300, but yeah, 290, 300 fuel away. And you can start building it faster. You can start when you have 250 fuel, because you're going to get in an even game about 30 fuel per minute. And it's going to take a couple minutes to get those structures up, right? So I think that's just some economy you can learn, I think. But yeah, good game.